Hey, folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of The Articulate Fly, and we're back with another Ruch Report with the man himself, Brendan Ruch. Brendan, how are you?
All good. We're on take two here, belly full of cookout, winding through the mountains of West Virginia, heading to North Carolina to pick up a little puppy dog with Leslie. So yeah, doing well.
Yeah, there you go. I'm just shocked you don't have great internet driving over the Turnpike.
Yeah, it looks like I'm driving through Jurassic Park right now down in West Virginia. So it's a beautiful view. I would imagine not the best for cell reception.
Yeah, so, we were talking in take one before you broke up that you're going to get rain kind of towards the end of this week, and so you're kind of lucky that you're not at home, but why don't you let folks know what you were seeing kind of before you got out of town and what you expect when you get back after the rain?
So I was fishing some dropping water that was dropping into like a gray, kind of like off green, clear color. I was a little surprised to see fish on beds so late. I'm not sure. I mean, they spawn in waves, so just a late wave that I saw. But we were catching fish on mid-river structure. You're going to be fishing ledges, the rare mid-river log. But fishing the pretty standard stuff, the same thing as beginning of the season. Like if it's green water, fishing either olive and black with copper flash or pink, yellow, orange, any combo of the three, and then white with pearl. I fished that a little bit this season, but yeah, so we're still dealing with higher flows right now, like higher than average, and the bigger bodies of water are very, very full. And we're going to be getting more rain at the end of this week. So we're getting a rapid warm up to 90 degrees in a couple of days here. Fish, in my experience, typically don't like that high of a temp swing. So fishing might get a little harder. I would say low and slow, long pauses, downsize the fly, maybe even fish a little like lightly weighted crayfish fly or fish a circus peanut or a nut job like it's a crayfish with just really long pauses.
Got it. And got a question for you from Alec. It's actually a two-parter. And he's kind of looking down the road into the summer. You wanted to know if you fish any different topwater bugs other than a boogle bug. And then you had to clue me in on the cool kid lingo. The second question is, are cicadas mid?
So, yeah, I personally fish a lot of flies that are made of like cork bodied. So in the Chuck Craft vein, I've bought a lot of flies from William Resniak at Eastern Trophies over the years. And I have a friend named Jimmy G out of the Pittsburgh area, and he ties some really good, really unique cork-bodied stuff. And if I have someone that I know isn't going to be bouncing the bug off the gunnel of the boat, then a lot of times my clients get to fish them as well. But yeah, that's, those bugs really aren't meant to chug or move any water. It's just going to be the splat. So you're picking it up, plopping it down in a likely area, and just kind of letting that thing ride, maybe giving it a little lift of the rod tip just to create a little bit of a wake, or you can kind of like twitch your rod tip to make it look, if you've ever seen a cicada on the water, you can kind of twitch your rod tip and get those like kind of waking movements. It's a little bit faster of a rhythm than your typical, like, old Mr. Wiggly, kind of just like wiggle those legs. So yeah, I would say majority of my top water fishing is going to be boogle bugs, some variation of a Chuck Craft bug with a suede tail, and then your foam body, Fat Albert, Mr. Wiggly stuff.
Yeah, we used to call the Fat Albert out in Montana the hey, right?
Hey.
Exactly. And what about part two of the question? Are cicadas mid?
I think Alec is kind of trying to antagonize me there, which I really just don't appreciate. He really comes at me on these questions, but I don't think they're mid. It's just I was pretty underwhelmed from a smallmouth perspective, and I'm not a carp aficionado at the moment. So 2021, I feel like to me that personally they were a bit mid, but the carp guys like had a field day with those cicadas, and they're having a field day right now all across the Mid-Atlantic and you know, a little bit south of there. So, um, to me personally, cicadas are mid, but I know that they present some great carp opportunities.
Yeah, I know they've been tearing it up kind of down here, and I guess you're probably, I don't know, they're just starting to show up kind of in central PA, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at that cicada safari app, and the numbers are rapidly increasing by the day. So they're popping.
Well, there you go. Well, you know, folks, we love questions on the articulate fly. You can email me or DM me on social media, whatever's easiest for you. And if I use your question, I will send you some articulate fly swag, which, as I say, will probably include a butcher shop sticker or two. And before I let you go, Brendan, you keep every time I talk to you, you seem to be guiding deeper and deeper into the season. You want to let folks know kind of how to get in touch and what you've got available and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, I've got a handful of days the second half of June available, maybe 2 days in July, and we can talk about the rest of the year. Just reach out. Um, we can fish some cork bugs, fish some bait fish stuff closer to the fall. But yeah, I'm going to be working around the guiding schedule with the electrical job. So if you want to get out, we can get out and have a good time.
Well, there you go. Well, folks, this time of year, as I always say, you owe it to yourself to get out there and catch a few. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, Brendan.
Take care, Marvin. Thanks for listening, guys.